Alright, what's up everybody? It's your boy Sir Splash here with Blivvy.
What's good, y'all? I'm
And
back.
today recently I had a thing where I added tag to an old video and it like tripled in views. I think I'm closing in on 300 on it. It's a Wolverine Raiden debunk video I did a while back, and a lot of comments. There's a huge section of comments that got deleted because one dude got mad when Blivvy commented on it. But it has multiple comments saying I'm wrong, even though my like to dislike ratio is high. It says I'm wrong, and they gave me reasons why I was wrong. And I am here to make a rebuttal video. I meant to do it for a while, but Blivvy is gonna be here because he doesn't really care about either of the characters, and he's kind of going to check me or just say what he thinks about what I'm saying. So, with that being said, I'll go into point one. A lot of these points have something to do with each other, but they're kind of different aspects. So, the point one is the high frequency blade that Raiden uses. The HF blade does cut on a molecular level. I never denied that. Like, that was never something I denied. However, characters in Marvel Comics have resistance to those kind of hacks. For example, Wolverine has fought against Black Panther several times before. Included in Black Panther's arsenal in the comic books is weaponry like energy daggers and other weapons made from vibranium. And the bladed weapons, some of them are designed to cut down to the molecular level. Literally, like, that's the description. However, Panther's weaponry does not cut through adamantium. And like I said, we know this because he's clashed with Wolverine on several occasions, and he has not cut through the adamantium. Even though Wolverine has actually cut through his vibranium weave, he hasn't cut through the adamantium. Striking power, because you know a lot of things, like I said, Antarctic vibranium, anti-metal was the only thing that ever like melted the adamantium. It wasn't Wolverine's, it was another adamantium. But anyways, that was Screw Attack's big point. They're like, oh, anti-metal started melting adamantium. And I was like, okay, so if you're going by a melting process, that's different than cutting. Melting and cutting are two different things. So if you're going by melting logic, Raiden would have to hold the blade to it and like start melting through it, which I said wouldn't happen because Wolverine's not going to sit there and let him do that. And they were like, "Oh, you are completely ignoring the striking power of Raiden." They're like, "You're seriously comparing him to that girl in striking power?" No, that's not what I'm comparing. I'm saying striking power does not have to do with the designated hacks of the weapon. For example, I myself can cut through steel just as well as a Jedi when we're both using lightsabers. It's not because he's a Jedi and I'm a Jedi because I'm not. It's because we have the damn lightsaber. You see what I mean?
Yeah,
Like those hacks are gonna happen. Like you shooting me with a gun is gonna be the same thing as a 2-year-old shooting me with a gun, even though you guys are physically way different because it's the same purpose. It does the same thing, regardless of the physicality. Something like that is like striking power on trying to break through a shield. Yeah, that matters. But a melting process, what they were saying, even if it could go through adamantium, which I don't think it would be a melting process based on what Screw Attack provided, not from what I provided. Because the antimatter thing we've only seen happen once in the comic books. So I would count that as an outlier or an anomaly. But even if you do count it, they would have to go with the melting property of adamantium. Like that's how you do it. You melt it. All right. So do you have anything to say about that first point? If I'm wrong or right or anything?
uh, like, there's nothing I disagree with. It's just the fact that I think you're already gonna get to this point, so I'm gonna just let you go ahead and have it.
Okay, yeah. You're right, you're right.
Yeah.
Point two, which also has to do with the high frequency blade, is a bunch of people in my comments referenced the Muramasa blade several times. Oh my fucking god. People quoted the Muramasa as being able to take down Wolverine. However, this had nothing to do with the damn cutting power. The blade Wolverine gave the Cyclops was forged with part of Wolverine's soul. That is not typical manufacturing. Like Wolverine had to put part of his soul in because it was made to kill Wolverine. He was like, Cyclops, if I ever go ape shit, use this to take me out. The blade actually nullifies his healing factor. That has nothing to do with cutting on a molecular level. This is similar to the carbonadium blade in Marvel Comics, which Deadpool has used sometimes. Although the Muramasa is a lot more effective because it's specifically made with Wolverine's soul. Muramasa
Right.
was, like I said, made specifically for the Wolverine. Raiden's blade was not. Also, Raiden failed to cut through Senator Armstrong when they clashed on the roof. He tried several times, couldn't do it because of the nanomachine defense. The way the nanomachines work, according to the actual Raiden wiki slash Metal Gear page, like the official site, the nanomachines come together and harden to stop attacks, like stop a blade. It is specifically stated that at a certain point in forging, adamantium cannot be molecularly altered or changed, like it's stuck in the way it's made. This sounds a lot like the nanomachines. However, I would say adamantium's a lot better because nanomachines, like Armstrong has to anticipate an attack in order to have the nanomachines block it, like come together and block it. Adamantium doesn't need to do that. It just is. It's already in place. So yeah, that's like I'm literally taking from their actual site how it works. And I'm showing you like people a lot of the arguments I'm getting and a lot of stuff Screw Attack says in videos that's annoying is they're kind of assuming two universes work the same. Like the Mario and Sonic universes don't work the same as my universe. It's different, so things apply differently. Like adamantium doesn't work the same as weapons in Metal Gear. And if you do want to start drawing comparisons based on what you read from both sites, both actual statements from the people that created it, not people that are interpreting, like the adamantium is better than the nanomachines. And he couldn't cut through the nanomachines with his HF blade. And in fact,
I think that's what a lot of people are trying to do. I think they're trying to, but it's not working. Like they're trying to apply that same logic you're saying to the whole Raiden's blade to Wolverine's adamantium. They're trying to apply that same logic that it doesn't work the same. So they're probably trying to say like the fact that you made the point earlier, Black Panther, the vibranium, it can cut things down on a molecular level, correct?
yeah, he uses energy daggers that are designed to cut on a molecular level.
Okay, so they're probably trying to use the same logic as, well, maybe his daggers, even though they cut down a molecular level, they're not the same as the is it the HF blade?
Yeah, but based on
But
their
they
argument,
both,
they are.
but they both do. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That based on their argument, they both do the same thing. They both cut down a molecular level. There is not multitudes of molecular levels that they cut down on. Is the molecular level is the molecular level. That's it. It's just one line.
Yeah,
Okay,
and like
there's not like multitudes of like maybe the HF blade can cut down on a molecular level better than the vibranium daggers. No, it's not how it's gonna work. I feel like someone has anyone brought up that argument? 'Cause I really feel like that sounds like something from someone.
yeah, it was kind of made like, are you seriously comparing? Like they're saying its striking power is what's going to be the different why it'll cut through. I'm like, no, like
No,
a
they
square
both
doesn't
cut.
fit in a circle. Like it's okay. What I mean by what I'm saying is, yes, like you're right and I'm right about cutting on molecular level is the same, but there's defenses against that. For example, Thor, you can't mess with him on a molecular level. Like someone tried to use a molecular time magic spell on him. I think it was Thanos, and it wasn't working. And Thor's like, "Dude, my molecules are different. Like, that's just not how you're gonna get to me." And then like Hulk, people have tried to use battlefield removal on him and like molecularly alter him, and they can't do it. Like it pissed them off. Like they can drain gamma, but when someone tried to actually alter his molecules, it wasn't working. So you can have defense against it, and the adamantium clearly has defense against molecular cutting. And another example of Marvel that they do stuff like this is Kitty Pryde can phase through objects, and so can Vision. And Iron Man made his suit built in with a repellent against phasing, which doesn't make sense. But it is what it is, baby. Like, bro, like
That's the comic book world for you.
yeah, that's comic book logic, baby. Those are the rules we play by, and adamantium is not gonna get cut through like that. I just hate how people when they're in my comments are acting like I wrote this stuff, like I made up these facts. Like, no, this is from reading the comic books, and this is from looking at the actual sites. I don't go to fan sites. I go to the actual creator sites. And a creator actually said, which was interesting on the because someone posted on the Metal Gear site, like, could he beat Wolverine? Like, wouldn't his Muramasa blade cut through Wolverine? And the dude was like, I think you guys are mistaking the ultimate weapon in that game, like the Muramasa blade that I think it was either Sam or Armstrong had. That was the Muramasa. That's different from what Raiden had. Raiden had an H high frequency like his blade. It wasn't as strong as the other one. So in that universe, there's actually stronger molecular weapons. But Raiden's wasn't as strong as the other one. So yeah.
But my question is, why are they bringing up a blade that Raiden's not even using?
Exactly.
I think
Screw Attack did that. That's the problem. Right. If you follow Screw Attack to the grave, you don't know what you're defending. Because they don't know what the hell they're defending. They just say the same thing over and over. Like, if you go watch their podcasts, like, when they defend something, they just stick with it. They're not good at arguing. They're just like, oh, it cut through this. And then someone will bring it up, and they'll be like, oh, but it cut through this. Like, yeah, no shit, that's your point, but I'm arguing your point. You can't argue it back. That's the problem. A lot of people like Screw Attack have is they think they have a trump card with 1 point, but instead of having a few others to back that point up, they just have that. Which makes your argument very easy to poke holes in, which is why I'm able to debunk a lot of their videos.
My only problem with that is not just Screw Attack, but just the Screw Attack community. It was a point I was like saying to you, like, guys, like the Screw Attack, like, they're not gods, okay?
Yeah,
they're not. You guys, it's okay to argue back with them. It's okay to disagree. You can, like, if you actually research this stuff, you can argue back, because when we do this research stuff, especially Splash, because like he's just the comic book plug. When we research this stuff, like we start to realize more and more that the guys who research this stuff behind Screw Attack really aren't going deep into it. They're just taking like bits and pieces of what they like and just things at face value. They're just taking what they like and then saying, okay, let's make the fight work on this theory or this theory, which they don't really have to use theories. They can actually use comic book logic and formulate a pretty good fight, but they choose not to. Now, they don't do it all the time, but when they do, people like us are just going to call them out. It's not about we're butthurt fans. I really don't give a shit about either one fighting. Okay? Like, it's all about, we're taking comic book facts, right? Comic book facts. That's the thing about it. It's comic book facts. It's not like an actual fact. It's not like these things actually happen. We're just taking like logic from the comic books and we're applying it. We're not going to apply real world logic to comic books. We're going to take, okay, this doesn't work in the comic book. Therefore, this is going to be the outcome. This shit's going to happen right here. Not whatever they're saying. Like, and the problem is like we just said, you guys are pulling up a blade that's not even being used by the person like that we're talking about. On a regular
basis, yeah. Like, okay, maybe he used it a couple times. That doesn't make it that person's regular arsenal. Like, that battle should be with arsenals.
Yeah, this was the regular arsenal. He wasn't using the Massimo blade in the fight. He was using the HF blade, right?
Yeah.
Or if he was.
But see, here's my point. That's why that is literally called in science and debates a slippery slope. Because if you introduce that point for Raiden, I can say, okay, I can use Wolverine when he's a horseman for Apocalypse. GG, buddy, he's gonna rape you. Like,
yeah, because if you're gonna bring in handicaps for one side, you have to bring in handicaps for the other side. You're saying, well, if he uses this blade, he could easily take out Wolverine. And then someone else on Wolverine's side, well, if Wolverine was on this mode, And it's just a back and forth, bro. Like y'all got to really chill on that. You're
Yeah,
not using. You guys are right. You guys like if you guys want to be screw attack, ride or die. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're going down a road that you're gonna look really stupid at when it's all over.
yeah,
Especially if one day screw attack comes out and says, "Yeah, our researchers have really been fucking up, so we're gonna fix all that," and then you're all gonna look really dumb defending every single word of mouth that screw attack says. It's it's just crazy to me. Like it's okay. I saw that's the only point I'm trying to make. It's okay to disagree with screw attack. If it doesn't mean we hate screw attack. It just means hey, you guys kind of messed up right here. But it's the video's already done. And it's whatever. That's basically kind of most of their rebuttal to the argument. We've already made the video. We've done the research. It's done. It's over. We believe this is how they would win. And then everyone's gonna be like, yeah, 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 and then just be like sheep and just follow.
yeah. And a big point I want to use here. It's a word Seth the programmer uses a lot, and I don't always agree with Seth, but he is a pretty good debater. Is a no limit fallacy. They're using a no limit fallacy for the high frequency blade, and a great example of this is I did a Thor Wonder Woman screw attack debunk, and I said Thor's God Blast would good game just fondle Wonder Woman. Like she can't stop that. And then someone commented, "Oh, she could block it with her bracelets." And I was like, "Well, by your logic, that bitch can't be killed. Like, if she can block any attack with those bracelets, why has Wonder Woman lost ever in comics? Because she loses quite often, and she loses to beings that are above solar system level, like on a regular basis. Like she ducked Zeus's fade. She's like, I don't want to fight you. She literally fought her best friends because Zeus was like, if you don't fight them, I'm gonna hurt you. And she was like, oh shit. And she started fighting other people. Like his God Blast and his blows with Mjolnir when he's trying, and he suppresses himself almost in a Goku like way most of the times. Like the writers and Thor himself say in the narration, they're like, he's not trying as hard because if he does, it's bad. Like when he tried, he was able to temporarily knock out the Phoenix Force, which is a multiversal threat. Like, okay, look at Dragon Ball Z Beerus. You know how he's a god of destruction for his universe?
Yeah.
There's multiple gods of destructions, right?
Yeah.
There is only one Phoenix Force for all the universes.
That's pretty much taking all that's like taking all the combined powers of the god of destructions and just put them into one being.
Yeah, like the Phoenix Force is a confirmed multiversal threat, and he knocked it out. I mean, when the thing got up, he was like, "Oh, Jimmy," and ran. But you can't blame the guy. But still, like he packs enough punch. And Galactus, who is also a universal threat, who fights Celestials, was like, "Yeah, if Thor hits me with a God Blast, I'm not tanking it. Like it's gonna kill me." Like Galactus himself admitted, "Yeah, Thor could kill me with a God Blast," and he can actually use it more than once. It's not like a one trick deal. So that's just addressing a quick point that it's.
And if y'all think that Wonder Woman can take down Galactus, you're bugging. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
by herself,
we'll save that for another time. I've already addressed that, but I was referring to the no limit fallacy. They're using a no limit fallacy for the HF blade. It can't, in fact, cut through everything. It cannot, and it should actually have an easier time cutting through nanomachines because they're not actually combined. They come together, but they're not actually connected. But not moving on. Point 3, the physical advantage. This is another kind of point they like to make. I never once said, in fact, in my video, I said Raiden's got him on the physicality. Like, if this was the damn PE class physical fitness test, Raiden would beat Wolverine. Like, I never tried to deny that. But one of the people in my comment section said, his reaction speed doesn't matter, Wolverine's. And I was like, yes, it does. What are you talking about? Reaction speed's different than regular speed. Like, Wolverine has gone toe-to-toe with the Hulk, and he actually almost killed him one time.
I was trying to find out one person who was talking about, he was talking about reaction speed. Like, and you brought up a point like a bullet in Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, and he was like, oh, I actually have his statement right here. He was like, "Oh, well, that's like comparing lightning to a car. Like a person can see, a person's not faster than the car or lightning, but the person can dodge." I'm literally reading it. But the person
Yeah.
can
Oh,
dodge
I
the
know.
fast-moving car, but the person doesn't have the reaction time to dodge lightning because it's so much faster than the car and human combined. See what I mean? No, I don't see what you mean because you're comparing that literal gap is ridiculous. Like that's oversimplified for this case. Like Wolverine can react to light speed attacks. Scott Cyclops, his light beams are stated to be speed of light, and Wolverine dodges them without much issue. He's not going to get speed blitz like that. He can get like if you're faster, you can't tag Wolverine, but obviously he doesn't care if he gets tagged. But he's physically gone toe to toe with the Hulk. Actually, almost killed the Hulk before. He has physically gotten the drop on Namor the Submariner several times. One of the examples, issue 3 of Namor Initiative, if you don't think I actually read the comics, it was written by Chernus. I forgot his first name. But and Namor has no issue ragdolling Sentinels that are made to kill the X-Men, like exterminate X-Men. And Namor has beaten the shit out of the Hulk and fought toe-to-toe with Thor before. Wolverine actually fought Thor and lived to tell the tale, and he actually managed to significantly injure the god. I'm pretty sure he cut Thor's arm off, but don't quote me. But I do know he gave him some pretty bad injuries. Wolverine's quickness is quite impressive. Like, that's the thing. And his senses, most of this has to do with his senses. Like, he can sense people coming. He can smell them. He's literally one of the best, if not the best hunter in the Marvel Universe. Like, once he smells you, it's a wrap. He's always going to know where you are. And this is what allows him to keep pace in many battles. He actually fought the X-Men team and Captain America for 3 straight days before they finally were able to get him down. And he wasn't going for the kill. So, like, yeah, Raiden, one of Raiden's biggest issues is stamina. And if this man Wolverine can hold off Captain America, yes, Raiden's stronger than Captain America. But he's also holding off the entire X-Men team at the same time. Do you want to tell me Raiden can take out Colossus? Eat a dick. Like, bro. Like, he's not taking out Colossus. He's not going to take out... a Cyclops could hit him with the optic beams. He would have a hard time, but if he gets hit, GG.
Watch someone say, well, because of his HF blade, he can cut through anything. So technically, he can cut through any fucking villain that comes up to him.
Yeah, he's going to cut through the optic blast. Yeah, shut up.
How do you cut through him? Yo, I really wish someone would actually argue that.
Yeah, and then, like, Storm was there, too. He's not doing shit to Storm. Storm one-shots Raiden. Like, I'm telling you, Wolverine... Oh, anyway. Do you have any problem with my physical thing I just addressed there?
No.
Okay. Like, I'm not saying Wolverine is superior in any way physically to Raiden. He is not. However, his reaction speed will allow him to not just get completely bamboozled, like completely hustled. And his thing is he just has to land a few hits. People don't understand that. Like, Raiden is not tanking a slash from those claws. That's not how Raiden works. Okay, but last point, the healing factor. People like Screw Attack said his healing factor would get overtaxed and he would get destroyed. The problem for Raiden is putting down Wolverine, like actually making him stay down. Wolverine has gotten up after getting punched across state lines. He got punched across actual states and just got back up. Wolverine has been beheaded in the comic books. I don't know why they act like if his head gets cut off, it's good game. In the Ultimate comic storyline, he got beheaded and came back. So it's happened before.
That's what I said when I saw the video back in the day. Like back when the video first hit. I think this was before me and Splash even met. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, it was way before we met.
Way before.
It was a great animation, by the way.
Great animation. Whoever animated it, like you guys, you did a fucking amazing job. But what I saw is how it ended. It ended in decapitation, right? It's been a while since I've seen the video.
They say their animation isn't how it's more for fun than how it actually go. But they did reference in the explanation like he would just get beheaded. Like Raiden can see weak points in people, and he would just behead Wolverine. Like, oh shit, I didn't know Wolverine was gonna stand there picking daisies for him to behead him. Like, it's literally making the assumption Wolverine's not gonna try to do something about it. Like, you don't think, like, bro, you don't think Wolverine knows his own weaknesses? He's not gonna try, like, he's not gonna try to stop someone from taking out, like, cutting through his spine. The problem is he's using a damn sword, so he has to get in close. Wolverine has 2 hands with 2 sets of claws. He has 2 weapons. He can block with one, slash with the other. Eventually, he's gonna get Raiden. But anyway, let's say he does cut through the spine of Wolverine. That's irrelevant, because he's gonna re-heal. And then Raiden is not gonna be able to get the drop a consecutive time. I don't see him being able to pull off the same thing twice. And one could actually argue, actually I can't argue, it is harder to take out Wolverine if you take away his adamantium. Like, let's give them the benefit of cutting through his adamantium claws, getting rid of the adamantium, okay? Let's say they do that. He actually becomes harder to fight because his healing factor and regeneration increases insanely when he loses adamantium. The reason for this is his body is actually constantly fighting and healing him because of the adamantium and the poisoning. So you are literally multiplying his healing factor when you're taking away the adamantium because his body no longer has to fight it. So he actually becomes way harder to put down.
Yeah.
So that makes it worse. That's a terrible argument right there. That's like, okay, you're bringing in the part that'll literally make an issue for Raiden. The biggest issue for Raiden, you're making it easier for Wolverine if you take away the adamantium. But yeah, those are the main points I covered for the rebuttal of this Raiden Wolverine video I made. I covered a lot in the first video I made, but then people tried to come at the points, and so I'm just bringing more further evidence. Literally, I'm just adding it on to you. I'm pancaking you more. And Blivvy, do you have any final thoughts or statements on what I presented versus the comments and everything else?
I really feel like, one, I'm gonna make some points, but they're gonna be really quick. Probably just gonna be 2 points, but it's just one. It's just gonna be a restatement. Screw attack. You guys have to accept that they're not always right. Okay. You have to do the research yourself. You can actually do the research yourself. You can actually look this stuff up. It's not hard. Okay. You can actually, if you actually keep up with both sides, and that's my only problem. Most people who come in these arguments only know a good 80% of one side of the fight, one fighter. And then the other fighter, they know a little 50-50. I've noticed most people do that. It's like people I disagree with will be like, well, I don't really know that much about Wolverine. It's like, well, that's the problem.
Oh, wait.
You can't come into the argument not
Jesus
knowing.
Christ, hold on. I got to say this. I forgot that I can't let this guy live.
Okay,
I'll
go
name
ahead.
him specifically in my comment section. His name's John Constantine. This little bastard came into an argument I was having and said, dude, read the comments. In Wolverine Origins, the Muramasa blade cut through the adamantium. I was like, hey, you little shit, that was the movie made by Fox. Fuck Fox. They never make good movies. They never make accurate movies. And he was like, dude, it's canon because Marvel okayed the movie to be made. I was like, what part of Marvel doesn't have the goddamn movie rights do you not understand? Do you think Marvel would have let those shitty Fantastic Four movies be made if they had a say so? They hated Fox's movies so bad they stopped making Fantastic Four comic books. They're like, bro, we're not making this shit anymore because y'all suck. Like, bro, like Spider-Man was good because Marvel got some more say back into it, as well as Wolverine because Disney is God, the one above all, and buys everything back. But before that, Fox could make whatever the hell they wanted.
Literally everything.
Fox made Nightcrawler Will.i.am. What? Like, bro, he was a cowboy. What? Nightcrawler's German. Wait, from a circus. What is this? Like, bro, you can't quote a Fox movie and try to tell me that's canon because you said Marvel okayed the movie to be made. Marvel doesn't have a say in that movie being made. That's why they sold the right to say, like, they were going broke and sold that right to say, hey, don't make this. Like, yeah, so fuck off, Constantine. That was the dumbest thing I said. And you spelled douche wrong. At least spell douche right, you douche. But yeah, sorry, that was. I almost let that guy live. I couldn't let that live. Bro, really tried to quote a goddamn Fox movie.
Oh my gosh. If you try to quote anything, the only Fox thing you can quote is Family Guy.
Yeah, bro, like, oh my.
I'm sorry. Anything anything made by Seth, you can quote. But anything after that, I'm sorry. You kind of lose the argument.
Yeah, he said, bro.
He really.
Hold on, I have his quote. Let me just read it so the people understand my pain. This little shit came in here after I was boning someone and said, wrong. Read Wolverine Origins. It's been stated that Silver Samurai's Muramasa blade can cut through even in between molecules. Go read comics more, deuce. Which should be douche. And I said, you're referring to a specific blade and one author. There are multiple authors. Also, Samurai's normal blade is a katana longsword. Refer to the official Marvel website if you don't believe me. Also, Muramasa nullifies the healing factor. Most importantly, Silver Samurai has only cut through the adamantium in a goddamn X-Men movie. A movie, not the comic. And he said, Silver Samurai did use the Muramasa blade in some stories. Not his standard weapon, but he still used it. Also, Wolverine Origins is a core part of the Wolverine mythos. Like that movie. The fact that Marvel Comics actually allowed it to be made, published, meant so. So it's just... He also said, I also didn't state it. It has to, he said state, I don't know why he said it like that. It has to cut through adamantium, but still able to splice through everything else. What? He said it can cut through adamantium. That's literally what he Jimmy. Said. I know. I was like, bro.
No, Jimmy.
Bro,
no.
That's the same movie where they made Deadpool mute. And he had laser vision.
Ricky!
Bro, like, meme this guy. Whose man's is this? Oh, go to my original video and harass him for such cancer. He gave my video liver cancer with those statements. It's pretty bad. He said it's stated in some Wikia articles. It's probably Wikipedia, you little shit. But yeah, he said that. This you guys see now why I have to make these damn videos.
You have to make these rebuttals now. Holy shit! I mean, some people who were rebuttaling you, they were making some interesting arguments.
Yeah, like one guy, Michael McGrath, who had the original arguments. He was respectable in the way that he presented himself. Like I understood what he was trying to say, even though it's wrong. I understood the points he was trying to make. Like I said, like Michael McGrath, that's his name. Shout out to you, buddy. But like, yeah, his point about the car lightning obviously doesn't apply, doesn't work. But he was trying, and he admitted, he was like, yeah, you know, like Raiden. I think Raiden would win, but he's like, Raiden would not stomp Wolverine. And I was like, that's exactly what I said, just on the opposite coin. So yeah, obviously he's not a blind fan. And he understands it's not a stomp regardless, which I've said it's not a stomp. I know the points I just made sound bad, but it's still not a stomp. And in his second rebuttal, he was like, thank you for the response. Let me make another response, which was worse than his first one. It just wasn't as good. But he still tried. You get a participation medal. And then, but like the guy also admitted, he was like, I saw you made a debunk on Mega Man and Astro Boy. I'm not gonna try you, cause you're right. He was like, yeah, I'm not trying you. So yeah, there's some people make good arguments. Some people just, like, one dude came in and he's ducked my fate on debating because I told him I'd debate him. But he came in and he was like, yo, you're just trying to be like those guys that say Goku beats Superman, just give up. I was like, bro, I don't give a shit about Goku. Don't bring up Goku. Goku's not my man's. Like, I had another video where they're like, yeah, but he can't beat Goku. Fuck Goku. I don't care about that guy. That's not what this is about. Don't relate me to other people, because I actually research and I read the like. People don't. I can't emphasize this enough. This video is dragging on, but my last emphasis: I read the comics. I am not one of these Reddit, YouTube debaters. I literally read the comics. My neighbor this year will officially complete his collection and own every single comic made. And he lets me read them when I need to read them. So I'm not coming in here with facts I read offline. I'm coming in here with facts I read from the comics and then apply science to and math to when I need to, when necessary.
Primary source, bitches.
Yeah, like the actual I can't argue with the author. He's the guy that made it. Simple as that. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in for my rebuttal. It did get a little heated, but that John Constantine guy had to take an L. I might even timestamp when he took that L. But thank you, Blivvy, for coming in and being the second opinion. Like I said before, Blivvy doesn't care about this fight. He was not even involved in the first one. That's why I brought him in as a neutral kind of viewing point. But I knew he was like, even in neutral, I knew he'd agree with me because my arguments are based off the facts. It's simple as that.
Yeah, he's not really he wasn't really like talking out of his ass about how he felt about both ways. It's just like some of the arguments were kind of like, you guys are trying to pull in some like examples and stuff, like the thing, like the lightning in the car, like the type of examples you guys are pulling in were kind of just a little bit like irrelevant from the actual like debate at hand, like what you're arguing. But
by the way, John Wick can't dodge all the cars, so I definitely can't. So that argument sucked. But anyways, shout out to John Wick. But thank you guys for watching, like and subscribe. I'm almost at 100 subs. If you don't sub for me, sub for Blivvy because he's dying. Just kidding. But yeah, clickbait. But thank you guys for watching. We'll have more video coming soon. It's Splash with Blivvy.
And we're out.